Hello, business building warrior. Welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio. I'm your host today, Jim Cockrum, and I'll be bringing on the show in just a minute a guy named Shane. You're going to love meeting him. This guy's busy. He and his wife both work full-time jobs. They've got a young child, another one on the way. He's putting in a lot of hours at a restaurant, 40, 50 hours a week, but in his spare time, 10, 15 hours or so per week, they've built an incredible business over the past few months. They're proven Amazon course students. They're coaching students as well, and they are absolutely loving what they are seeing. They share their results. They share their reality of the routine of what goes into their business. Let me just give you a summary of what you're about to hear. Then I'll let Shane share it in his own words. They have found several hundred ASINs, that's viable products that they're allowed to sell. They've put them into 3P Mercury software, and the software tells them when it's time to buy which products, which ones make the most sense. They just had their first $10,000 sales month. They're operating at a 65% ROI. Means they're turning the dollar into $1.65. Pretty cool. They've built a beautiful business. They see how they can scale this thing to even bigger and better. We spent a little bit of time today talking about the reality of going from about a $10,000 a month business to a 30, 50, or even 80,000. It's not a matter of doubling or tripling your efforts. It's just a matter of finding more ASINs and dumping them into the machine, which they now know how to do. So they're automating, they're building a beautiful workflow. They share the reality of the business. Now he's made the decision to source locally from retail stores. He actually shares a really cool story about an encounter he had in the store. I won't steal the thunder from that story, but listen for it. But you could easily do what he's doing by shopping online or from anywhere in the world, shopping online in the United States. They don't use a prep center, but I think they might at some point. That means for now, all their inventory comes to their house instead of going somewhere else to be inspected, put labels on it, that sort of thing. But what you don't want to do is see his story and think, I have to do it the exact way he did it. No, if you listen to several episodes of our podcast, you're going to hear people doing it all different kinds of ways. But what they all have in common, especially lately, is you're hearing a lot of stories from people who say, yep, I just go find ASINs. I can find them all over the place. I can find them online. I can find them in retail stores. I can find them on wholesalers' websites, retail stores. I put those products into 3P Mercury, and the software tells me at any given time which ones make the most sense. Shane today talks about how he set up several custom filters inside of 3P Mercury, meaning his own unique expectations of what makes a good product ready for him to start selling. So the software combs through all of his ASINs. You'll hear Shane today talk about how they've got 500-600 ASINs or listings on Amazon, potential listings. And it tells him which of those make the most sense to go buy. You could have a catalog of thousands or tens of thousands. They're well on their way. That's what they want to do. We've got sellers in our community who have 100,000 ASINs being combed through by 3P Mercury, looking for the best products at any given time. This business model has really been simplified the past several months. The features of 3P Mercury continue to improve and make this business as simple as it's ever been. Yet these guys were coaching students. So if you want to talk to us about our coaching program, you can give us a call anytime. The number to reach out to us or get on our calendar, as always, is at silentjim.com/book-a-call. There's a link in the show notes for that if you want to talk through and see if this business is for you. There's several other tools that he mentions today that they've been using in one fashion or another. We put a link to all of those in the show notes as well, and you can go check those out. We've got discounts on most of the products and tools, but the basics that you need are just the proven Amazon course training and then 3P Mercury, as you're about to hear. Those are the basics. From there, you can use other tools that help you find ASINs faster or help you do some other things a little more efficiently. But 3P Mercury is quickly becoming the default choice, and you're going to hear more and more episodes of our podcast where people are diving in with just that as their primary workflow software for Amazon. There's links to the discounts for 3P Mercury and all the other offers and all the other tools, I should say, that are mentioned on today's show. So enjoy this time with Shane. It's a great young family that has an exciting future because of the work they're putting into their business right now. And they're heading towards a very flexible lifestyle, a very well-funded, flexible lifestyle from home, running an exciting business because of the proven Amazon course and this community that's supporting them. Enjoy this episode with Shane. Let's get it started. So, hey, Shane,
Hey, Jeff.
welcome. Good to see you, man.
Oh, happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Well, I'm looking forward to digging into your story. I know a little bit of it, but if you're ready, let's roll.
Yeah, I'm ready. So I got into e-commerce, started looking into it probably about 2019, actually. It's just me and my wife then, kind of work had settled down a little bit. And then, of course, COVID happened. So that kind of threw a wrench into things. And then at the same time, I manage a restaurant full time.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay. What kind?
yeah,
I'm just curious.
barbecue. Hmm.
Oh, gotcha. Dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Where do you live?
in Central Texas. So,
Too far to drive, man, but I bet you do it right down there in Texas. Barbecue in Texas, that sounds good, man.
yeah, we've got it down. And then, so kind of in the middle of that, job opportunity opened up, and we decided to move in the middle of COVID and everything, and went and took over another store. And then probably about a year later, we started a IVF journey. And then about 12 months later, we were blessed with our baby daughter.
Oh, praise
Uh,
God. That's awesome.
yeah.
So how old is she
So
now? About two, three? How long ago was that?
she'll be 3 here in just a couple months. So yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful, dude.
Hmm.
Congrats.
Yeah. So, and honestly, going through all this, kind of the e-commerce thing just kind of got put on the back burner a little bit. I mean, me and my wife both have full-time jobs, so it was kind of just wasn't the right time. But fast forward till the kind of middle of 2024, kind of started getting the itch to start something. Just one, to have like a good hobby, and then two, to bring in some extra income for the family. So I've been looked and looked and kind of started with some other stuff that basically went nowhere. And then was scrolling through Facebook and saw one of your posts or one of your, I guess, marketing ads or something pop up. I mean, and there was you had to like click more, and the page like expanded a ton, and had to read the full story of everything. But I'm glad I did, because once I read it, and then I went ahead and kind of, I mean, dug into it a little bit, and was like, man, this seems like something that could be real. Because I was definitely looking for a low a low entry cost, but that seemed like it really had potential to be successful, and that's what I got from what I'd read. And so I went ahead, and then towards December 2024, went ahead and signed up for the PAC course. And while I was signing up for it, I saw the Kickstart program. So I went ahead and was like, you know what, if I'm going to do it, I might as well get into it. So I signed up for that, and that started, I think, middle of December, somewhere around there. And then kind of, in the middle of the Kickstart course, my wife ended up having to have her gallbladder removed. Like
No,
right, actually on Christmas is when it
no
wound up happening.
way. Surprise Christmas surgery, huh?
Yes, exactly. Holidays tend to have something. I mean, my daughter was born on Thanksgiving, and then my wife had the gallbladder out on Christmas. So we're just celebrating our holidays a different way sometimes. So through all that, things got delayed a little bit for sure. But once we got kind of settled back in middle of January, luckily I was able to catch up on all of the Kickstart stuff, because Robin Joy does a great job of recording everything and posting it all in the Facebook group. So I was able to catch back up and start the journey of sourcing, and got my first shipment sent in right around the middle of February. Just a small, 5 units, one ASIN, got it sent in, and just been going from there. So yeah, that's kind of I guess the whole abbreviated story of how I got into it.
Yeah, that was the start. Yeah, great summary. And I'm so glad you found this as well. And it's good to know those ads are out there working. We went 20 years just kind of organically seeing who referred who into the community. And yeah, it's kind of just what we did. But we've been playing around with ads and it's brought some of the best people. I wish we'd start running ads sooner because it does, done right. It can bring really good people like you, your wife. It can
Yeah,
bring you guys into the community. By the way, what's her name?
Ashley.
Ashley, Shane and Ashley.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing the business together. I take it part-time at this point.
Yes, probably about 10 to 15 hours. Sometimes I'm able to squeeze in a little bit more.
Sure.
But I mean, work about 40 to 50 hours on my other job. So
Yeah, right.
it's,
Still in the
and
restaurant
yes,
business. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
yes,
And yeah, it's still
mhm,
in the Central Texas area.
correct.
Just curious.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Sometimes people will reach out to you, they'll hear a podcast episode and go, man, that person's not too far from me. They'll track you down. Now you got a new friend in the area. We love to see those kind of organic relationships pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, always good to know where people are at during the episode. Okay, so you guys are putting in a part-time effort since about February, March, April, May, June, July, about 6 months or so. You've been doing this since your
About,
first
yeah.
shipment. So
Yes.
6 months in, what have you learned? What's happening? Talk to me a little bit about the process and explain it to me like I'm a friend who doesn't know what you're up to, but hey, you seem to be excited about this, man. What have you guys been doing?
Yeah.
What's the reality of this thing?
So, I mean, getting into it, obviously, the gating frustration can be real, but I'm a part of the My Silent Team, the Facebook group, and just constantly seeing everybody's posts like, "Hey, just get through it. Like, just keep pushing. You'll get through it." And started out just using Keepa, and I running another business, like I'm very used to seeing P&Ls and working with numbers and all that. So I immediately was looking for a good program or software for that. So I hopped on Sellerboard. So I was able to really see my numbers straight from the get-go. And then once I kind of probably around, I don't know the specific number, but once I really got around probably through that first month and a half, maybe 150 units ish, somewhere in there, sold, the gates started to fall down pretty consistently. Of course, not on the huge brands. Like, there's just no way you're going to get into a lot of those as a brand new seller, but I was definitely able to start sourcing a lot more stuff. And I guess I should say I'm probably 85% RA right now doing retail arbitrage. But I do all my research ahead of time with tools. I don't scan barcodes really in the store unless
Sure.
I'm just there grocery shopping with the family or something like that, and I see
Yeah.
something that
You walk past the clearance aisle, it's like, there might be some $20 bills laying around. I might swing through. Yeah.
right, exactly. So now I'm doing everything ahead of time, going through different, keep searches and using all the filters on there. And then I did use Nepeto. I still have it, but I did use Nepeto for a little bit. Think I got in it kind of right at the beginning when a lot of people were getting into it. It seemed because I've definitely seen how a lot of those products that you get on can start tanking pretty quickly, which isn't a bad thing because now I have them in my 3P Mercury buy list. Sorry, should have said I got in on that pretty early too. But after a few months, you can definitely see sellers fall off. And that's when you can jump back in, get on it again, and things
Excellent.
have been good.
Well, let me ask you
Yeah.
this question. How many ASINs would you say you have now at this point?
Active, just under 100.
Okay.
I've probably gone through 175 to 180, somewhere in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
yeah. So, I mean, I looked at it the other day. Out of that 100, there's about 40 that I have that are consistent replens that I'm sending in weekly or bi-weekly. So, and it's some of it says I'm sending in as fast as my local stores can restock it.
Nice.
So,
What local stores, I mean, without giving away any of your, local tips, but Anything
Yeah.
national chain that we'd recognize?
Well, I mean, I'm in Texas, so if anybody who knows I'm in Texas knows of HEB. I mean, there's
Yeah,
no
I've seen
hiding.
them in the South. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no hiding that for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
So just
so
right off the retail store shelf. Have you developed any
yeah.
relationships there, like managers, talk to anybody, or are you just kind of clearing them out as they show up?
So it's funny you asked that. Actually today, not a manager of the store, but I was there to get some products just a few hours ago, and the brand rep was there restocking their products on the shelves, and I, kind of didn't want to disturb her that much. She was busy stocking and everything, but I think she saw me kind of go past the aisle a few times, like, and when she finally had left, I went up, but I saw she came back down the aisle, and I said, "Hey, like, just wanted to see if there was any chance that y'all would be interested in doing wholesale on this stuff." And she said, "Oh yeah," and she even asked me. She said, "Are you the one that's been buying all of this?" Uh, and I told her, I was like, "Yeah, that's probably me." So just seeing if it'd be, beneficial to you if we could, work something out where I could buy it from you instead of clearing out your shelf here all the time. And she did. She gave me her information and gave me my email, and yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But it should be. I'm hoping you could get my first. I'm really not trying to go too deep in wholesale per se, but I wouldn't mind having that one. That's a good product line to
Yeah.
have on wholesale. So
Well, okay, just a couple comments and observations about what you did. Beautiful instincts. You'll never put yourself in a worse position because of a relationship that you develop with a manager or even a store worker or a brand rep who's there filling the shelf. Those can pay huge, huge dividends. Worst case scenario is it doesn't really go anywhere. Best case is you could find yourself representing that brand on Amazon a few months from
mhm.
now. Like, oh,
Yeah,
you're the guy that's buying all this stuff from this region. Yeah, we've been looking for someone who understands Amazon. Thanks. We're glad you raised your hand. Do you want to help us? We're looking to build out our catalog and we don't have anyone internal. We don't want to go hire someone, right? So that's how these relationships turn into opportunities that just kind of fall in your lap. These things happen.
yeah,
And it could be, we had one guy, not too dissimilar to the story you just told, who the brand itself made him an offer and said, "Hey, we want to buy your whole Amazon account because we want your full attention. And
wow.
we're going to put you as a percent owner of our brand on Amazon and you just manage it for us. You're going to make way more money." He's like, "Okay." So he's doing the same thing he was doing before, except he never sees or touches the product. He's not clearing shelves anymore. He's selling, tens of thousands of units monthly of all their ASINs and he's
Right.
managing it. And they said, "Yeah, you can pick up other clients if you want. That's fine." So that's his model now, right?
Yeah,
So
it's
these
awesome.
relationships and these brands and these connections, conversations. Yeah, you don't want to be the guy with your hood pulled up, your earbuds in, and just kind of sneaking in with your cart and sneaking out with the
Yeah,
most clueless looking cashier at the end who doesn't care what you buy. Like, don't do it that way. Talk, have conversation, and your instincts are going to take you good places. I can't wait to hear how that works out. So, yeah,
yeah.
how many units a month of that particular brand would you say you're selling right now, approximately?
That particular brand, probably close to 100.
That's awesome. What are your
Yeah.
numbers on
So
it?
about that one, about a 15 to 18% margin, depending on the product. And then, I mean, I think it's about a 20, no, it's about just over a 40% ROI. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it'll be
Just
great. And then
right
excited
on
to
the
see the
local
wholesale
store shelf.
prices.
Yeah. And I assume you're not the only one selling it. There's a handful of other sellers popping on
Oh, yeah.
these things, right? But you're still
Oh,
able to
yeah.
do well with it. That's awesome. Very common, easily sourced product, I would imagine. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great.
Yes.
I love it,
Yeah.
man. You're doing it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. I love that. I love that little bunny trail we went down on that one brand. But yeah, yeah. So what else has happened? You've mentioned a handful of tools. I wouldn't mind
Mhm.
spending a little more time on 3P Mercury. We're making a big push to raise awareness about that tool and how it changes your business. How has it been integrated in? How are you using it? What does it do for you?
So, I mean, when I sit down on the computer, first I hit Seller Central, and then second is 3P Mercury, pretty much every day. Because whenever I'm setting up a shipment for that week, go to the restock page, and I have probably 8 different filters that I use on there.
You've set
And
up various filters, right?
correct, yeah. I think I have 5 Kings, but there's like preset ones in there that I use a couple of those as well. But it really helps because it's I mean, in that buy list, I think I have probably about 500 or 600 ASINs somewhere in there, getting close to it, I think. Which I know isn't a ton, but it really helps me see what is profitable to sell. I can look at the seller count, see how many people are on there. I mean, a dropping seller count, is awesome. It definitely means that I can, as long as I catch it early enough, that's kind of, I'll hop on there and send in those units. But I get on there, check it in, create the purchase orders with that. And then also throughout my sourcing, as I find new ASINs, add it to the buy list and add those to those purchase orders and just kind of run through the system that he has set up in there. It's too easy. Like he just, you can tell it was created by somebody who, I mean, I've heard most of his backstory and everything. You tell it was created by somebody who said, what, this needs to be as efficient as possible. Like,
Right. You can see
so
where
it
he
worked.
was running a $3 million business with one person in the warehouse receiving the stuff. He chose not to use a prep center, so he did have to receive the inventory, and then one person running the software, basically. that it,
Exactly.
which is incredible. But yeah, it was built by someone who's trying to keep efficiency at the core of the operation. Let the
Mhm.
computer do the heavy lifting. Hey, sorry for the interruption, but we'll get back into the episode in just a moment. I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Cindy Smith. If you've got bookkeeping, tax questions involving your e-commerce, Amazon, eBay business, whatever it is you're doing online, odds are your local accountant just doesn't quite get it when it comes to e-commerce. How about you reach out to someone on our team who's been with us a long time? I'm talking about Cindy Smith. That's Jimmy Smith's mom. She actually created the content inside the Proven Amazon course that a lot of our sellers use to help them do it themselves. But if you don't want to do it yourself, you're not an accounting person, hey, call who we trust, Cindy Smith. Go to silentjimdotcom slash ask Cindy. You can ask your questions, get set up. She'll do your bookkeeping, record keeping for you. She can prepare your taxes. She can help you with tax planning, all things e-commerce and taxes. Call Cindy. She's fantastic. She's been in our community a long time. She loves serving this community. And today she's a great sponsor of our show. Thank you, Cindy. Reach out to her at silentjim.com slash ask Cindy. There's a link in the show notes as well. Let's get back to today's episode. Incredible. But yeah, it was built by someone who's trying to keep efficiency at the core of the operation. Let the
Mhm.
computer do the heavy lifting.
Yeah. So it works well. Just then go purchase the items or a little bit of online arbitrage, wait for them to come in, check them in, and then him adding the label printing from there was amazing for me because especially I have a lot of items that have expiration dates, and so that saved me from having to. I mean, it saved me half of my labels because I could actually print them on the SKU label for each item. So yeah, print all that out, get it set up. I'm still, actually doing the shipment through Seller Central. I'm excited for the future from what I hear. Now we'll be able to just do everything from there.
Do
So,
shipments right from 3P. It's
right.
coming. Yep, it is. It's
Yes.
coming.
Yes. So I'm excited for that.
Well,
Yeah.
you've got a process now where you could conceivably, at whatever point you're comfortable and the numbers make sense, you could train someone on your systems, and now they're pushing the buttons, and even someone else finding those ASINs. You're up to 600 now. Have someone finding those, someone else pushing the buttons on 3P, and you've got your operation rolling. Are you doing
Yeah.
you're doing your own prep? You said you're doing it out of your house, or what kind of arrangement you have there?
I am. It's about probably a 12 by 20-foot room. And I can tell you right now, I've got a lot of prep in front of me. It's all around me right now. So,
Yeah, that's one of the
yeah.
first things people are excited to let go, either hire a teenager or send it to a prep center, right? But so you're doing it
That
yourself
is
right now?
right now I am. And that's kind of right now. I am debating on whether I want to go ahead and hire a prepper or hire a shopper, just because it's gotten to the point where it's the prepping and the shipments are taking away too much sourcing time from me.
Mhm.
So I can feel that kind of squeeze of I'm not getting enough new ASINs in to keep growing so much. So I think that'll be probably the next few months is looking into having somebody hired on and actually hiring a team member. So
Yeah. And it's basically a math question at that point, which frees up more of your time for less dollars, right? As you kind of look at the
yeah,
processes and my instinct is a shopper is going to be an easier person to kind of find and train. And if it doesn't work out, they move on kind of thing. It's a pretty brain dead gig, really.
yeah,
They cruise
yeah,
around from spot to spot. And even a lot of the stores, like, Walmart, for example, you can sign up for their free delivery plan and just
hmm
have them bring everything to whatever location. So
yeah.
yeah, that efficiency of your time, because yeah, you're right. Time is your greatest asset, and you want to protect it.
It is for
You're,
sure.
you're smart to be thinking that direction, especially for a guy who's working full time and has a wife who's working, and your hours in the day are precious. So at the point where you can um, get someone else, I would even suggest that you look into whoever that person you bring, if you bring someone in house for prepping, for example, that they be someone who you train for sourcing as well. So they can
Okay.
be adding to that list of 600 ASINs, train them how to do that. That's classic Dave Ramsey advice, actually, is the first person you hire as a small business is someone who you train how to leave the cave, kill a bear, and drag it back, just like you've been doing.
Yeah.
Right? Meaning they're out there
hmm
finding money.
Right.
Shoppers
That
aren't
makes
finding
sense.
money. They're just checking off a list, right? Prepper
Yeah.
isn't finding money. They're just freeing up some of your time.
Right.
But if you find someone who can replicate your ability to find new ASINs based on the
hmm
systems that you like and plugging them in, which isn't rocket science. Now that you understand it, you sit down for a few hours, you get someone playing that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be my advice. And maybe they do some prep too, right?
Right.
But
Yeah.
just thinking it through with you. Haven't seen a lot of people kind of scale into this.
Yeah. And that's definitely, I mean, good advice because I've trying to figure out the best way because, like I said, time, I mean, is tough to come by nowadays. I also didn't mention my wife. We're 16 weeks pregnant with our second right now.
Yes.
So,
Number two, do we
uh,
know boy, girl yet?
yeah, boy,
Little
yes. So,
brother?
yeah, yeah, little
Nice.
brother is on the way. So,
That's
um,
so great. I
yeah.
bet your 3-year-old's excited, man.
She is. She knows everything. She's not too sure about sharing her stuff yet,
Yeah,
but
we'll have to figure that one out, right?
yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, but
Oh,
she's
that's so
excited.
great.
Yes.
Yeah. Little
So,
girls seem to understand that concept way faster than little boys do. Like they're just built for our family, right? That's
yes,
so great,
definitely.
man. What a great
Mhm.
mix. Congrats.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so but
yeah,
yeah, to your point, time is at a premium now.
yeah,
So
it
for
is.
being efficient and having as much, the reason we're doing all this is so we can have that flexibility, that family time. And what is your bigger picture goal that you're starting to? What is your dream for this business? The reality that you have on the horizon at some point.
My bigger picture, my first big goal, big, hairy, audacious goal, I guess
The
you could say.
BHAG. Yep.
Yeah, the BHAG is to bring my wife home and get her to where she doesn't have to work anymore. I mean, I think it'll probably be tough on her not to work, honestly. So they'll have this where she can help out with for sure.
Mhm.
But that's probably the first thing, just because I've seen she has done well at every job she's at, but she just has that kind of ever since we had had our daughter. It's obviously she wants to spend every moment that she can with her.
Yeah.
So
Man, that mirrors our story so much that the girl I married 30 years ago, she was incredible. She was like top of her class, and we went to the same college. She was younger than me. We went to the same school. I always joke that she graduated magna cum laude. I graduated thank the Lord. She had like 30 job offers, and I was like, would someone please hire me?
all
Right.
right.
But as soon
Mhm.
as we brought that kid home, and she's off doing her corporate thing and climbing the corporate ladder, and we're like, well, maybe it's just smarter for me to stay home and do this entrepreneurial thing. But
Yeah.
it became very apparent very quickly that she did not want to leave the house every day, man. Because we had 5 kids, and as we
Yeah.
started out, and she's like, she did not want to be anywhere except with those kids. So,
Right.
and then, the ability for your wife, if she's got that drive for entrepreneurship, yeah, she can plug into this, and
Yeah.
hopefully that's a smooth transition for you guys. But I love that goal. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. So that would definitely be the first one. I mean, second one would be, I mean, I'd love to be home too with the kids and not miss out on all those moments, but uh, definitely want to get her home first. Get that squared away. So
That's a great
um,
goal, and that is a beautiful arrangement.
yeah.
Our family benefited so many different ways now that my kids are older, grown, and having their own kids. Just having that history of mom always there, dad flexible enough lifestyle that I'm available. Yeah, I think it's going to benefit your family in great ways. And that's a lot of why we love teaching what we teach is because we see that ripple effect through the family of just stronger relationships, more flexibility and freedom. So I'm
Right.
excited for you guys. And it's going to be a
Appreciate
cool
it.
journey. Absolutely. Well, you've shared a lot of detail. What else about your business? Maybe you could give some advice to, because you're pretty far down this road. I wouldn't mind hearing some numbers, and I want to hear some advice as well that you might give to someone who's new, considering this, thinking about getting into it. What's the reality of it? What are they signing up for? Talk through. Instead of them hearing it from me, what would you say?
So probably some advice. I mean, it is a grind at the beginning, like especially if you're working another job. I tell you, like it can be a lot. Not trying to scare anybody off with that. I think if you're serious about it, then that shouldn't be a problem. But for my other job, I'm used to getting up at 4 in the morning, pretty much, 3 or 4 days a week for that job. So kind of how I did it was I just said, well, I'll just get up that early every day. And just that's how when I was learning everything, I was in the kitchen just watching all the videos on the pack course and going through, Reblends 2.0, Keep It 360, like all of that and learn soaked in as much as I could during that early time frame. And then, I mean, now it's usually that early morning is my sourcing time that I have because I don't want to make too much noise and wake up the house like with packing tape or anything like that, prepping. So usually sourcing or learning during those times, and yeah, it can definitely be a grind. So I would just make sure that somebody is expecting, I'm not saying that it's not mentally that hard. Like I feel like you can do it. Like pretty much anybody that has a computer can probably get on there and figure it out with the proper training. But you got to be willing to put in the effort and put in that what is it y'all say, the intense focused effort.
There you go.
Be able to,
Yeah.
yeah, be
The
able to,
early phase, especially, there is a
yeah.
bit of a hill to climb. And then you can get to that point where you've got a machine that
Hmm.
others are running and
Yeah.
it's still scaling. You can get
Right.
there. But to double or triple where you're at now doesn't mean double or triple the effort. It just means a
Right.
few tweaks to your systems and a little more money going in, right?
Hmm.
Once you've got the basic foundation. But it's
Right.
the same amount of work, effort, energy, and intense focus effort to have, say, a $10,000 a month business as it is to have a $80,000 a month business. Same amount of intense focused effort required, just a little more money, a
Yeah.
little more time. But you're on your way. It sounds like you're definitely on your way. You've got the basics, and you've got a good system in place. And
Yeah.
how are the numbers looking? We hasn't hit that yet.
S- So numbers looking, I mean, they've been improving every month for sure. See, so I mean, last month I was at just under a 20% margin, the 65% ROI. So I mean, really, I can say from probably April to June, like that 2 month time period, I really started. Because at the beginning, I was sitting in basically whatever I could, like just
Right.
to get those sales, right? But April to June is where I really started to dial in. Okay, I I'm going to focus on anything that's over 30% ROI. like ROI, and that's it. And then now I'm pretty hesitant to go below 40% ROI on anything. And then I try to make sure that it's around at least a 12 to 15% margin at that point as well. So that, you know, every dollar that I put in is worth it. That I can expect, that $1.40, $1.50, whatever more coming back.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I mean, last month I was only expecting to break 10,000 by a little bit in sales, but I actually wound up doing about 11 and a half. So that was my first 5-digit sales month.
Congrats,
So
man. So that was for
yeah,
August of 2025, correct?
correct.
11 and a
Yes.
half.
So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So
At about
it's
20% net and creeping towards 40% ROI. That's beautiful.
yeah, yeah, 20% net, 65% ROI.
Oh, you're at
Uh,
65. Okay. You're
mhm.
well past. Oh, that's
Yeah,
phenomenal. You're doing so great. You're
yeah.
doing so
So
great. So I can see where you got the
thanks.
fire lit under you. Those are great numbers.
Yes, I can definitely see the light kind of coming through that intense focused effort, you could say.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I should, I just kind of shot right to the end there. But I mean, February, I barely, I sent in those 5 units. I think I sold 3 units, like out of them in February because they didn't get there until, or actually become available to sell until right at the end. March was like 1,300 in sales, April 3,000, May 3,000, June 7,300, and then July 8,500, and then August 11,500. So we kind of can give people a clearer picture of the staircase there going
Yeah,
up.
the
So
trajectory. Yeah, that's a great line, man. Beautiful. Up and to the right.
yeah,
Well done.
so
Well done.
yeah, it's fun. Like,
Yeah, and you're having
um,
fun with it. That's phenomenal. Well, congratulations. You're building a beautiful business and you're putting in the time and you're doing it on top of a busy schedule with, young kiddo and another one on the way. That's just great. Well done, dude.
yeah, I
So,
appreciate that.
if you had anything else you wanted to share with listeners, we start to wrap this. I think this has been a really good episode, and I don't want to keep you too long, man. You're a busy guy, but is there anything else on your mind you were hoping to share, or any other details that maybe you'd made a note, or any questions for me before we start to wind things up?
I mean, I would say just my main thing was I wish I would have started earlier. Like, so just for anybody out there like listening to this and has the resources and is able to get into it, I would say get into it. Like, don't go ahead and jump in because that me putting my foot in and just going ahead and jumping into it was a big step for me. I mean, I've been at my job for almost 15 years now. Just kind of been, climbing the ladder there, but not really taking any big risks per se. So for me to jump into this was different, but I would just encourage people to do it because it does work. Um,
Outstanding. Well,
yeah,
I appreciate the vote of confidence and worked hard to craft a system that anyone who's willing to put in that intense, focused effort, like you said, to get through that initial learning curve, they can benefit and build something amazing. And you're just another testament to that. And I recognize and understand the work that's gone into you going from zero and uncertain to where you are now. And the trajectory forward is phenomenal. So I'm super excited, man. I'd love to have you back. Maybe first time you hit 30 or $50,000, whatever that next benchmark is,
yeah.
for a month. Let's have you back and talk about the new things you've learned along the way. But Shane, it's been great hanging out with you today, man. I really appreciate your story.
Well, thank you, Jim.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's been fun.
It's an honor. It's an honor. It really is. Well, let me talk to the listeners who hung out with Shane and I for a few minutes today. If you enjoyed this conversation, I've got some really good news for you. We've got hundreds of interviews with proven Amazon course students. You heard us call it the PAC today. That's our acronym for the Proven Amazon Course. There's a link in the show notes today. You can go check that out. $39 a month gets you all your education, and that's what Shane used to grow his business. And 3P Mercury and the other tools that were mentioned, there's links to all that in the notes. But I've got some good news for you. We got a whole bunch of new episodes coming as well. If you're new to our show, keep listening, scroll back in time, enjoy some episodes. But that's what we do here is we talk to the successful students who are listeners to this podcast and users of our content and training. We just hear their stories. And we're glad you came along with us today. Hey, one last time, Shane. God bless you, buddy. Congrats on that new little brother that's on his way. And it's going to be a fun season for you guys.
Looking forward to it for
God
sure.
bless you, man. Cool.
Thank you, Jim.
And to the listeners that hung out with us today, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. We'll have another great episode for you very soon. Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. Before I let you go, a quick reminder, you want to go to silentjim.com/askcindy to talk to someone about your accounting, bookkeeping, tax planning needs. They're very unique as an e-commerce business owner, and odds are you're having trouble finding someone local who gets it. You're probably paying more in taxes than you should be. Have a conversation with Cindy and her team. Tell them we sent you. Go to silentjim.com/askcindy to get all the details. Thanks for listening. We'll have more great episodes for you very soon.